Yo, what's up, everybody? It's P-Sci here.
Wow, P-Sci, you look a lot paler.
Yeah, I look a lot paler these days. So here to bring another deck profile. I got second place at the Tinley Locals. Was it out of 31 people?
Yep, 31 people.
So pretty impressive. I wish I would have got first. Went undefeated after 4 rounds. Unfortunately, my final opponent was a Medolce player.
Yes.
Still very inexperienced facing that matchup. It is a considered rogue, so I don't think I'm going to take it that hard. But yeah, it really didn't come down to any misplays or anything like that. It's just basically because I just kind of bricked out of my mind. So the deck I chose to sport for this tournament was Thunder Dragons. I've been playing it for quite some time. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I really haven't been as confident with the deck lately. As far as this format goes, I get bodied by Super Poly and Nibiru a lot. So I was really like, where's my standing with this deck at this point? But yesterday I came in with an open mind, and I just figured, you know what, play game by game, round by round. Really take the time to read shit and read cards and shit like that. Yeah. And just like really take my time. I think this was a key factor in my success last night. Yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to get into the profile just so we don't waste too much time here. So the main deck, pretty standard. I did a profile previously on this channel. It was a going second deck, but I reverted back to going first.
Okay, so this is going first Thunder.
Yes.
All right.
The reason for that was about last week I played at Tinley, and I had no success going second. I never topped with it, so unfortunately it just wasn't working anymore. So here's a standard package: 3 OG, 3 Dark, 3 Hawk, 3 Roar, 3 Matrix. Pretty standard. You can't really change it. You want to see something with Titan. To be honest, sometimes I think Titan is almost equal or better than Colossus in some instances.
I think so. I think it is.
It's pretty busted. Like I know
no one searches anymore.
Yeah, nobody seems to really care about Colossus. I mean, it's nice to have multiple of them because sometimes they can be hard to out, which will then give you advantage on your turn to push for game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I think Titan's a little bit better this format, just in my opinion. One duo, I'm one of those nerds or hippies who's just sticking with the 1. A lot of people go with 2, some even go with 3. I don't like opening this crap. It requires setup. Some people do like to go Harbinger or the Sky Prison Phantom card, XC, but I stick with 1. It sometimes bricks my hand, but when you're playing it at 1, you don't really see it too much. The normal summons. I guess this is kind of like a shout out to Gabriel Vargas. He topped like an OTS tournament a while back. He's a known YCS champion, national champion, whatever. He's playing the 2-2 ratio of Solar and Aloof Lupine.
That's so weird.
It's a little bizarre, but I kind of understand where he's coming from, where sometimes Solar's really good because it's good with Hawk, Roar, vice versa. But if you don't see any of those cards, this card is kind of trash, essentially. It doesn't really do much. It's the same thing with this. This requires Thunder Dragon Dark, or a Thunder Dragon Roar and a Hawk in hand to kind of get to that full board. So it's a little dependent on what kind of cards you open up with these. So worked out very well. I didn't see too many of these or too many of these at wrong times. I was able to open up combo reasonably well. In the future, I may test ratios again, but for now, I think I'm just going to stick with these ratios. I'm pretty confident with it so far. So that's that. We'll just kind of brush these to the side a little bit. We're going on to our hand traps. 3 Phantasme. Still very good on bricking your hands. It's a little weird going first because I know it's like, well, it's just sitting in your hand and like your board is mediocre, but it can like I do think about losing die rolls and stuff like that. So going second, you just summon the Phantasme and then you draw 2 cards. Interesting thing that happened yesterday facing an Orcus player. I summoned Phantasme, drew into Lancia, and then I proceeded to Lancia him because he had a Harp Horror engraved, and it pretty much just stopped his entire turn.
Oh, nice.
After that, I went to do my things with Instant Fusion, and I had Roar in hand, but he Lancey'd me. So the typical line of play is to banish the Roar and the Kaminari attack, so you get the Titan.
You Titan and then activate your effect.
But since he Lancey'd me, I decided I didn't normal summon yet. So with the Phantasme, I tributed the Kaminari attack to summon the Roar, and then I linked the two of them off to get into Lambda, and then Roar's effect goes off, summons Dark. And I already had the OG Thunder already in hand, so I had full combo.
Nice.
I proceeded to OTK.
So Phantasme really helped out. That's good.
Yeah. 3 shifter. Still 50-50 on this, but sometimes it just stops decks completely. My first round, you could kind of say that was a bye regardless. The kid seemed like he didn't play the game, hasn't been playing the game for a while, but he was playing Heralds or whatever, so obviously not a very good deck. But Game 1 took that easy. Game 2, I slapped this on him immediately, and he just passed, and then I proceeded to OTK him. Yeah. So it comes up, and I did also do this against my Orcust opponent as well, and it just forces him to pass.
Yeah.
2 Ash Blossom. I kind of fairly want to see hand traps consistently, so this deck runs a total of 6,
Looks like
9.
8.
So far, I'm playing 11, counting.
Okay, imperm.
Might as well just throw the impermanences in there too. People always show the traps last, but basically this is my hand trap lineup. Yeah. I'll just say right now, I don't emphasize any back row hate in this deck, so I can kind of auto-lose to Mystic Mine if I don't have the Titan pop. But my mentality is that you want to see a fair amount of hand trap disruption as much as possible, and throughout last night's tournament, I always saw something. Even if my boards weren't the best, I was able to slow them down so that I could eventually draw into my combo pieces and then push for game or whatever I needed to do. So I like this lineup. I'm not really going to change the hand trap lineup. It's 11, so we'll stick with that.
Nice.
Going to the spells, 3 Allure. I think it's better now because I incorporated the shifters, which adds more darks into this deck, so I'm not throwing away my entire hand nearly as much. So yeah, it's standard draw power, just helps to cycle through the deck. 3 Instant Fusion. Sub builds don't even play this. I don't even know why. This is a major power card. It's good going second to get that Thousand Eyes out and just out problems.
Oh, nice. You play Thousand Eyes and Kaminari? That's awesome.
Yeah, so pretty broken.
It's a really good going second card and really good going first.
Yeah, exactly. 2 Instant Fusion.
That's not Instant Fusion.
I'm sorry. Thunder Dragon Fusion. I don't know why I said it twice. 2 Thunder Dragon Fusion. Standard. Never played at 3. It bricks. Does require some setup. Never played at 1 because there's a time where I actually sided this out in a friendly, and I regretted that. So in the grind game, you need to at least have 2 of these. Sometimes it can brick, but it's like one of the best cards in the deck. So, the God card. Sometimes, honestly, I don't even think I resolved this card once yesterday.
It's a 1 of in a 40-card deck, but you got 3 Allures, so it's kind of like a 37-card deck. But
it doesn't matter. So that's the main, 40-card main. Wouldn't change anything about it. Moving forward, I'm going to see how participating in further tournaments goes. And if I feel like I'm consistent with this deck moving forward, I believe I'll take it to an upcoming regional, whichever that is. So either Indianapolis or Rosemount. We'll see how that goes.
Nice.
So moving to extra deck, Borlo. Basically to out the mirror or out any problematic card. Didn't come up at all yesterday, but standard monster to have in the extra deck. You kind of want to have it. Best card in the extra deck, funny thing is this didn't come up at all yesterday either, so but it's really broken when you need to go for a power play and you can just link off your Colossus or your Dark and stuff. That most of the time when I do summon that, I am getting rid of those monsters, and then you just get your Dark Aurora effect, and you're putting this on, you're putting Colossus, you're putting Titan, you're just botting your opponent. So Lambda, generic, basically for aloof Lupine, and when he's using his effect to get other Thunder Dragon monsters on board, and then you just link off into this generic monster. So basically that's what he's used for.
Nice.
Phoenix, back row hate, standard. Nothing to really say about that. Summoner, played at 1. Sometimes I want to play it at 2 for a grind game.
Yeah, that's interesting. Only 1.
I don't have any room, so it never really came up. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Link Karibo, pretty standard.
Matrix and Thousand Eyes.
I had to stall Tenny player yesterday. We had a 27-minute game, and he was going to push for a game, and I just kept drawing matrices for a while. So then,
Lily Carimo kept on coming back.
Yeah, it just kept coming back for like at least 2 turns. I stalled him, and then I just drew into pieces to like push for game and stuff like that. So pretty funny. Big Daddy himself, the heart and soul of this deck. Thunder Dragon Colossus at 3. You have to play it at 3. It's mandatory. I don't know what really surges too much these days. Unfortunately, it's been a little power crap, but I think it's still broken just because if you're able to successfully put multiple of them on board.
It is broken, and the protection effect is phenomenal. It's just that because this exists, people aren't playing decks that search so much. So once this deck is completely dead, you'll see more searching.
Yeah. So I mean, standard boards.
Yeah.
If you're getting this, you're kind of winning that game unless they're able to.
Unless they got like Super Poly or Nibiru in the middle of your combo.
Yeah. Usually when I get that board, I'm pretty confident. So yeah. Let's put these Colossus.
So yeah, 3 Colossus and then
3 Titan.
3 Titan.
You could theoretically maybe take out one of these and put something else, but honestly, the grind.
What else would you even need? You didn't even summon Borreload. I think 3 is good.
Yeah.
What else would you need as utility?
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of mandatory to play 3. I did have an instance where I did play the Grand Maju Infernal Tempest Kid, and my game 3, I did need to actually use all 3.
You used all 3 Titans. Nice.
That was the only way I was winning the game. Instant fusion targets.
Broken.
Kaminari Thousand Eyes. Got to get a rarity upgrade at some point.
Yeah,
when
it's
I do.
a dirty common.
I guess so. Combo plays with Dark, Roar, gets you Titan, gets you Summoner, gets you Colossus Titan, Slash.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Thousand Eyes, basically a mind control.
Yeah.
It's a problematic card. So, pretty much the extra deck's pretty standard, except for this guy.
Wow.
Sadly, he didn't come up at all. There was never a situation, but
in 5 rounds, this did not come up.
No, it didn't come up. I mean, it's kind of hard to want to give up 2 Colossus for a ding, only if I really see something that's a major problem that I can't get over. And ding can kind of take care of an opposing Borreload or something.
Then why play it? Just because you're on Team Bad Card.
Right.
You gotta play a card, some crazy stuff that no one else plays.
Exactly. But in all actuality, I put in my mind, like, it hasn't come up in, like, at least 2 tournaments now, so I am thinking of just dropping it. When I was doing the going second build, where I was maining 3 Nibiru and stuff like that, the theory is Nibiru them, and then basically if you can't out the token, you'll just summon this, and then you'll have the Titan token, you'll just go for OTK with all of them. But it doesn't come up, so probably going to end up cutting it.
What are other pure Thunder going first builds playing instead of Dingirsu? Do you know?
Some of them are starting to incorporate IP now. I did notice one profile doing that, so I may consider IP, but then I would have to make space for Unicorn too. So I'd have to really craft that.
So they're not playing a rank 8 in Pure Thunder. This is a super spicy tech.
Maybe except for the Sky Prison.
Sanafond? Okay.
Yeah, Sanafond. People will play that. So maybe I might consider that against Orcus or something. Maybe I won't. But
going first, that's definitely better than a double Colossus. Yeah. Like, I'd way rather go for Sanafond.
Yeah, so maybe I'll go for that. Who knows? I'll have to just test some stuff out. So we're going to move on to the side. Double Lancia. Yeah, like I said, I got super lucky against an Orcus player yesterday, having Phantasma and drawing
into it.
Pretty broken. Orcus, Thunder. It's not always good against Thunder. It just depends on what the hand is. Like I said, I got Lancia, and I still had ways to get to my full board. So it just depends on the hand, honestly. 2 Nibiru, combo decks, stuff like that.
Just throw it in for combo.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, to be honest, the reason why I'm not really emphasizing on the hand traps at 3 ofs in here is because
you already main deck 11.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get here's the pile. I mean, like, I already have, like, pretty much, especially Shifter's so strong against certain decks, like infinite permits. Like, I kind of have enough to deal with most decks, so that's why I kind of like just have these 2 as 2 ofs. 2 mind control. Didn't come up yesterday, but it's there depending on what deck I'm facing. Maybe Orcus or something like that. But
it's a really good board breaker.
Yeah, haven't had a chance to really set it in. Let's just put all the back row hate out.
Yeah, dude, definitely. That's hilarious.
So The only time I really had a situation with back row is Infernoids. I can't stand Lair of Darkness for the life of me.
Yeah.
So game 1 I took that. Game 2 he ended up taking it. And then game 3 is when it really got interesting. I made my full board double Colossus Titan, and this man proceeded to Mystic Mind me. So
you didn't have something to activate with Titan to pop it?
No, sadly I didn't, but I did have this. I had it set. Was thinking about just shotgunning it outright, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, there's no reason to shotgun it. I'm glad that you've learned.
Yeah, so I figured let me just wait, and because these Infernoid cards apparently like they have to like activate them and then actually activate their effects. They don't activate as soon as they immediately slap them on field, which is nice. So then he slapped his one Infernoid card. I just was like, cool, Twin Twisters, and get rid of it.
You took two Kara 2 problems instead of just one.
Sadly, he had a second Mystic Mind, so he stalled me out for about 6 or 7 turns. I figured I was going to lose the game at this point, but he never drew into anything relevant.
Mm-hmm.
He drew like stupid floodgates, like Summon Lemon and just garbage, and then
you already had an established board. How did you end up outing the second Mystic Mind? Did you draw a second Twin Twisters?
I eventually drew the second one. So yeah, basically these were the MVPs to get out of the double Mystic Mind issue. So yeah. And then basically, I don't really need to say much.
Yeah, we all know what Evenly and Reboot do.
Yeah, just I don't like dealing with back row, and that's the mindset too. Is I don't have any main deck back row hate, so when I'm siding against back row, I'm siding in all of those hand traps, and I'm just putting a whole crap ton of these in.
Yeah,
like I'm not even gonna play around. I'm just gonna like side the nuts in for you. And if I open up combo and these cards that break the board, hey,
yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the profile.
Thanks for the profile.
Yeah, just shout outs to Team Bad Cards for once again supporting me and stuff and making me a better player each and every day.
Nice. Who you been training with lately? Papa Peace Eye.
Yeah, shout outs to the real Peace Eye. I'm not actually Peace Eye. So giving him a little shout out. Also, let's give Jake and Brian always my supporting cast. Give me help.
Absolutely.
Giving me good advice and stuff like that.
Dang. First place got the mat, though, so... Ugh.
Yeah, sadly, I didn't get my picture taken. I look like shit anyway yesterday, so I look a hell of a lot better today, so, sadly, whatever. All right, so that's the deck profile for you, so...
Yep, I'm about to piggyback on your deck profile with mine that you guys have already seen. So, it was 31 players. Tony ended up taking second with X1. I ended up X2, but I managed to squeeze in for 8th. So he and I both got field centers. We'll be opening up those later. We got packs for Mystic Fighters as well. Tony's got 12, so we're going to open those later. And I got just 1. But whatever, we topped. We both topped. So right. You guys have already seen this deck profile. So there's the starters. That's really good. Thunder Engine. So I'm going to, in the future, play one less of this. So that's the Thunder Engine. You got Brotar. I play this, but I'm going to take this out if I can manage to borrow some safe arts. You play those. I only have one safe art. That sucks.
Rip.
I'm going to take out a Phantasme. You don't need to play 2. It's searchable. And then the Levianeer, I am going to be borrowing 2 more, so that'll be an addition to the deck. This guy, and then I don't have the prize card, but this kind of functions as like another kind of pseudo Levianeer if you need another body on board that's level 8, and it's a searchable Dark Dragon. Next up, the Danger Package. I'm going to be cutting the Chupacabra, but everything else is pretty standard at this point, honestly. You want to see as many as possible. I play 11, but most people are playing 10 without the Chupacabra. Bashoot is really good as well. For breaking boards, and then also this banishes from hand as well. So if you manage to normal summon your Draco Net before you go IP, if you're trying to break a board, because I'm surprised at how many people let this go through and then had disruption later on. I don't know what the mentality is. I'd be negating this at all costs because IP or not IP, Ib is full combo by herself if she goes through. So if you have a disruption, like I really think that you should use it. But anyway, people don't use it right away. So since you have a normal, you can banish this from your hand. So this outs floodgates like summon limit, for example. So you normal summon this, that's one summon. Second summon is this. If you happen to have this in your hand, it's not going to happen every time, but it's like, did you draw a Called by the Grave or whatever if you're playing combo. If you have this in your hand, you can banish it immediately since you control a normal monster, and that's just something really cute that I thought was nice. Last monster, I just needed more ways to banish because I don't have the safers to search the black and white dragons, and this can banish my roar or whatever. And then finally, the spells, you guys know, these two, they stay on the field, so you get to play Sekka's Light, and then all the side has the rest of the spell and trap interaction. Extra deck is pretty standard. You got your Colossus. I really wish I could play 2. I think I may play 2 and the, what's it called in the future? Not Titan. That would be really nice. But either Sanafond or the Zombie Stein, because I really value a negate. Like, that would be really phenomenal to be able to negate something on the field, and then I wouldn't even need Colossus. I would just use the 2 Colossus like to overlay like as extra rank 8s. But yeah, Ib is by herself full combo. It's insane. You end on Harbinger. I don't think this is as good as it should be, but I mean, whatever. The rest of the deck is Link monsters. We got this for if you're going first, or no, never first. If you're going second, you can link into that or whatever. So honestly, I should probably side this, but I don't know. Guard Dragon package, you have your Romulus, so you can search your field spell. I'm kind of liking this even less, but it does guarantee your Diabolos if you do manage to open combo, which lets you rip that second card out of your opponent's hand, which is really important. Then for the other Link 2s, you got your generic thing. I need an IP, which would be a little bit nicer, and then your Phoenix for back row. This you go into your nightmares. There's a unicorn. You go into your nightmares so easily going second, and you just rip boards apart. Like I mentioned in my other deck profile, this is really good with that one card, Appaloosa, but I don't have an Appaloosa, unfortunately, because if you get Nibiru, you get to add a combo piece back from your graveyard to your hand. This actually came up in tournament. I get Nibiru, and I got to add something from grave and keep on going, which is really nice. Once you have your like Safeguard combo, you put the Guard Dragon LP there, and then you link up into Appaloosa, and then you go full Guard Dragon combo. So at no point in there are you going to not be plussing when you get Nibiru. So the 1-star Yugioh, and then this would be an Appaloosa if I had one. It's a double-star Yugioh. Like, I really like double-star Yugioh. If your opponent does not have Nibiru, you get to draw 8 cards. It's so good. And then Brawl Sword just, like, wins games by itself. Finally, side. I might change that to a Sanafond. I don't know yet. I sided in, like, a lot in Game 2 against decks that I know use the graveyard, but it just never came up. I need more Safers to guarantee the level 4s, but that's why I do play the Chupacabra and the Luna to give me extra level 4 bodies so I can make this, but I think Sanafond would just be flat out better. Like, so I might just take this out for Sanafond and then change the actual main deck to extra deck to include like a Zombie Stein or something, and just forget about Colossus completely. Like, just use it as overlay material and summoning of Diabolos. Triple Lancia, this is really good at stopping people's turns, including my turn, because if I get Lancia, things don't go so hot. Dark Ruler No More, this is for freaking pendulums. Double Twin Twister, this came up because people like to Mystic Mind me, but it's okay, because it was also one of the best cards in my deck. I won my 5th round because I just played Mystic... Okay, so game 1...
you have to explain this to the audience.
Alright, so game 1... I won the die roll, which is lucky, but I mean, I can win game 1 without winning the die roll anyway, because this deck is phenomenal. So round 5, I go into it, I'm X2 already, and I'm like, I'm probably not even going to top. So I play this kid, and I have no idea what he's playing. He loses the die roll. I rip 2 cards out of his hand. He tries to activate some things, and I just end up negating it. I had the full board. So the double card hand rip, the Colossus, so he can't search. I believe he had a searching card that he said. And he's like, yeah, I can't play the game, so he just scooped. I had the Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres for the bounce, and I had the Hope Harbinger for the spell negate. I think I negated something. I can't remember. But I didn't really know what he was playing. So I sided in back row hate because he ended up setting 2 and passing, and I just OTK'd him. You do not side in back row removal against combo. So when you see my combo, I'm like doing everything that I can, and I'm just destroying you. So obviously you're going to want to go first, so I can't set up my board and rip cards out of your hand. And also, you're going to want to make sure that you have stuff that can negate monster effects. Because the only spells and traps in my deck are the Ravine, so whatever, the World Legacy Guard Dragon, and then the 3 Seconds Light. So, like, back removal is not really that good at all. So, game 2, I find out what he's playing. He does all this Necro Valley stuff. He Pot of Desires, dug deep into his deck. So he already lost 12 cards because of that. Because Pot of Desires banished 10, and then he drew 2. He activates Necro Valley, and then he activates the card that got off the ban list that's now at 3. Royal Tribute, I believe. Yeah. So I had a Mystic Mine, some other card, and then 3 monsters. So all go to the grave. I draw for turn, it's a Bigfoot. So I have like Bigfoot, Twin Twisters, and Mystic Mine in my hand. And I'm like, oh my god, if he has the Judgment, I fucking lose. So I activate, I was like, okay, so I like to be funny. Sorry, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm hilarious. So I'm like, standby phase, main phase, battle phase, end of battle phase. Main phase 2, activate Mystic Mine. And I was like, you literally lose. He was like so defeated. Shoutouts to that kid, my round 5 opponent. I am so sorry, man. But I had to do it. I had to do it to you. This is cards that is legal at 3. It's phenomenal. No one sees it coming. You royal tributed me. You deserved it. You ripped my hand to pieces. So we played for about like 5 turns, and then he was just like, I can't out this. And he just like, he was so demoralized after that. But we had fun, and we talked for a little bit after that, so I don't feel as bad. And then finally, for those back row decks, Red Reboot. So that's the deck profile. You guys have already seen that one, but congratulations, Tony. 8th place and 2nd place for us. So we did pretty good out of 31 people. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.